Hi, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Full Court Podcast with your host, Orazio Cauchi. We are approaching the EuroLeague playoffs. We're getting closer, so I thought this was a good time to check on the situation of some teams before the start of the EuroLeague playoffs, how they are preparing for this scenario, how they are gonna arrive there. And in order to do that, my guest for this week is a Spanish journalist for Movistar Cope, Pilar Casado. Pilar, welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to see you and, of course, to meet all the audience. So let's talk about basketball and playoffs.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. And of course, with Pilar, we are gonna focus mostly on the Spanish teams, both in EuroLeague and in EuroCup. And to begin, we're gonna start with Barcelona. Of course, as you probably already know, Barcelona has already secured the first spot in the standings of EuroLeague, so they're gonna have their number one ranking in the playoffs. The season, of course, has been absolutely positive for Barcelona so far. They've been hands down the best teams in the EuroLeague so far. Now, there have been some issues because of the injuries. Now they lost Brandon Davis for at least the last few games of the regular season. We will see if he's gonna recover in time for the start of the playoffs. But again, on paper, Barcelona looks definitely like the team to beat to win this EuroLeague competition. So my first question for you, Pilar, is considering how well they've been playing, they got the number one spot for the playoffs. Do you have, although, any concern about Barcelona going into the playoffs? Some risks that they might encounter, or are you completely trusting them to go straight to the Final Four?
Okay, let's see. I think something that we have learned from last season and about playoffs and Barcelona remind how was the pair Barcelona Zenit last year.
Yeah.
So, and I think Barcelona learned about that to face the playoffs, you have to take the correct mentality. I mean, if you think, okay, I'm facing the eighth team, so we have the court advantage, so it's going to be easy.
Yeah,
but it's wrong. It's wrong, and we know it's wrong because playoffs are at 5 games, so it's quite difficult to beat a team as Barcelona is right now for 5 games. But let's see what happens. You talk about injuries, and something that I was really surprised this season is I think at the beginning that Barcelona is a short roster to face ACB League and EuroLeague. Probably till now, except there were some injuries as Sabrines or Oriola, and of course Corey Higgins. Right now, you commented that Brandon Davis is listed out for 3 games. Let's see if it's 3 or more than 3 games. But he managed so well injuries. Because I think the roster is short for facing this hard competitions. But playoffs are in 3 weeks. So let's see what happens.
More or less, yeah.
Injuries is just a question of bad or good luck. So probably at Barcelona are crossing fingers about no injuries. Because sometimes it's not a question of how long is a player injured. Sometimes when you are adding players coming out from injuries, it's like the team is it's strange.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're putting in the roster again, players that are out of rhythm, maybe 3 weeks, 1 month.
yeah.
So it's too complicated. At least this is what the coach says, that it's really, really hard to add again this kind of injuries just only for 3 weeks or a month. But I think it's the bid that everyone wants to bid at the EuroLeague right now.
Yeah.
Of course. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, because calendar is full of games, is overbooking. We are coming from summer without holidays. Well, we are coming from an Olympics. So let's see what happens. And anyway, I don't have the statistics about that, but think about how many teams were champions being the first of EuroLeague regular season.
Yeah, I don't think there are too many of them.
So let's see. I think the most important thing from Barcelona is that they gave Saras the team, the project, and it's not a question of you arrive and you win. So you have to maybe arrive once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, and then you are ready to be champion. It's not as easy as, okay, you win the regular season, you are the best during 8 months, and what about Final Four? It's maybe teams that are qualified to Final Four are the best of Europe. So everyone can beat you. I think this is the main, that Barcelona is arriving to the Final Four, not for the first time, second and the third, and then maybe he will win, of course.
Yeah. And on another hand, we have Real Madrid, who is living a difficult moment as of right now. In EuroLeague, they only won 2 of their last 8 games. So, we've seen some issues, especially on the offensively. They struggle to create a good volume of offense. They're still probably relying a little bit too much offensively on Sergio Llull, who is not a young kid anymore, and for him is becoming more difficult to take on his shoulders all the offensive load of the team. We've seen some difficulties from the point guard position. Ertel, Nigel Williams-Goss, they are probably not performing at the level that they were expected to. So I wanted to ask you, what are your impressions on the moment that Real Madrid is living right now, and if you think that when the playoff will begin, they will be able to, get away from this bad moment and take in their best form again?
It will not be the first time. Remember the last title? It was in Belgrade, and it was. I remember Pablo Laso talking about what else can happen to this team, because it was injury after injury. But anyway, this is just a joke, because of course every season is quite different. Let's see. I think it's not a question of moment. I mean, since the beginning of the season, Real Madrid has offensively problems. First, at the beginning was because Randall and Trace Hopkins and other players were injured. So they are players that adds you a lot of situations offensively talking. Points. I mean, points.
Yeah.
It's something as simple as that. What happened in the last 2 months and a half, more or less? Of course, I think there is a great problem. Is the place of the point guard. I don't know why, but Nigel Williams-Goss is not the player as they had in the last summer. I mean, we had the sensation that he's not answering as the same way as he did it before. I don't know, it's just a question of confidence, or maybe some injuries first, then COVID, then the team was in a bad shape. I think it's continued, but it's obviously that the Nigel Williams-Goss that at Real Madrid last summer is not the same player. At least you just have to check his numbers.
Yeah, the numbers. Yeah, exactly.
Since I think the great mistake that Real Madrid made was since Facundo Campazzo said to Real Madrid, okay, I'm leaving to the NBA, they didn't find a good player in that position. I mean, okay, Sergio Llull and maybe some players that can make this role, as Alberto or Hanga or Fabian Coser, for example, but they are not on the top. I mean, they are not players on the top. I mean, think about the last point guards that had Real Madrid before this season. Luca, the best, Sergio Llull, Facu Campazzo. So it was a high level. And what happens? I think Pablo thinks maybe Llull can back to play as a 2, not as a 1, just as a 2. In fact, our national coach, Sergio Scariolo, always uses Sergio Llull as a 2, not as a first. It's so strange. So he's 34 right now, Sergio, I think so, 34 years. And after the injury, it's obviously that it's not the same player as before. So, and what about Thomas Eurtel? I think sometimes he takes bad decisions. Yeah. So probably Pablo decided to use it as the same way as Sergio, because Eurtel can add points and make points so easily, but decisions are not as good as they want. So imagine Nigel Williams is not the same. Sergio and Eurtel probably are better players right now in the 2 position. So who is the first? Who is the point guard? There is not a top 3. I mean, we are always talking about Vasilij Micic or Sergio Rodriguez or Shane Larkin or other point guards. So, and what about Real Madrid? So I think it's the great problem. Laso added another one. If Coser is in or out, because Fabian always helps to Eurtel or Sergio or Williams goes to make some things that probably he felt free to take better decisions. So, and Fabian was out for more than a month, than a month. Yeah, the first of COVID, well, 2 months and a half. First COVID, and then they have some physical problems, and then after the Spanish Cup, he was injured. So let's see. Anyway, I always say something about Real Madrid. Probably is a team that always is very, very competitive. Always. It doesn't matter the situation. It doesn't matter the roster. It doesn't matter the. So you can wait for the best Real Madrid till the end of the season. I think so. And of course, what is happening with Randolph? I know he was injured for a long time. It's a quite difficult injury, and Trey Hopkins. So we are waiting for the best Randolph and the best Trey. When? I hope before the season ends.
Yeah, that will be good for Real Madrid.
Yeah. And for example, I think Laso made a mistake about Yabusel. He was playing for a long time, since the beginning of the season till January or February. There was no. He was playing all the games, no rest. So and he was coming from the Olympics. So I mean he needs to rest anyway. He's coming back to his best way, his best mode for sure. And what about Dick? Finally, he came back from the NBA. Yeah, finally. We have seen the last 3-4 games at a high level. So, and it's interesting because Dick gives Real Madrid another offensively options. I mean, you can not play all 3 shooting with Dick. So it's another basketball with Dick.
Of course, because of this situation in Real Madrid, in the past few weeks, there have been some rumors about the future, of the potential future of Coach Pablo Laso. It was actually, the first time probably in the last few years that someone tried to cast some doubts about the future of Coach Pablo Laso in Real Madrid. I think it was.
Yeah, but the question is who?
Yeah,
who?
That's
the question. The question is who?
Yeah.
Because I know for sure that the president of the club, I mean Florentino Perez, is absolutely confident on him, and he's not going to finish the relationship first since the season ends. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think on July, when the season ends, probably Pablo is going to think about the future. He's in contract. Okay. I think he has another one. Yeah, because the last time he had seasons, there was 2. So we are at the end of the first.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to think what he wants to do. But these rumors, so who? Media?
Yeah, they came from Marca at first.
And I'm not going to talk bad about media or other mates. No, it's not a question of that.
Yeah,
I think, I mean, if from now till the end of the season, Real is unable to win one game and the team loses 20 games, probably, I don't know. But I think for the remainder of the season, there is not going to take any decision about Pablo. And of course, I think the decision is on Laso's hands. I mean, if he wants to continue and he wants to be another season the coach. I mean, so take it easy, because I think, I mean, this rumor for me it was not true. For me, it was not true.
Okay.
Anyway, let's wait till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Not for sure. Not before. Not before it's going to happen, I'm sure.
Okay, perfect. So to confirm how good of a domestic league HSB is, even in the EuroCup, where we're having a very strong season from the Spanish clubs. As of right now, in the Group A, Badalona is at the top. Group A is the same group in which Partizan Belgrade is. In the same group, Andorra is currently at the 4th place. And in the Group B, there's also a strong lead from the Spanish clubs, with the Gran Canaria and Valencia leading the group. So we're definitely going to have 4 Spanish teams in the EuroCup playoffs. So I wanted to ask you, Pilar, about these EuroCup teams. Who do you see as the team that most likely will go further in the playoffs? Who do you see as the strongest of these 4 teams heading into the EuroCup playoffs?
I think from the 4 Spanish club, Valencia and Juventud probably are going better in this playoffs. Valencia, of course, has a good roster. Let's see what happens if they add another player from Prepelic, because
unfortunately, Prepelic is out for the rest of the season. Yes.
So, but I think it's strong enough, and of course, Juventud is a mix from young talent and players as Pau Ribas or Guillem Vives, and of course Ante Tomic. Maybe Ante Tomic is it's like a teenager right now. It's impressive. Yeah, it's impressive how he's playing Ante Tomic this season, and they are playing really, really good basketball. Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely. What happened with Gran Canaria and Andorra? Okay, Andorra, I think it has a problem. Because the team is fighting not to go on the lead. So since Sibon Navarro went out as a coach, David Eudal is like 50-50. For example, I was broadcasting the other day on Movistar Plus, Baxi Manresa Morabanc Andorra. And I said, oh my God. Yeah, and it was, I mean, Baxi Manresa plays so well. And it's so funny to see. But Andorra is like Jekyll and Hyde. So you can see a good game, but you can see a really, really bad one. So, and I think probably this team needs to have be on the fight to not to go on the lab.
Yeah.
So nervous. And the other day in this game that I was talking to, David Udal said to his players, okay, try to fight till the end for you, for the team, and for people who went to Baxi Manresa to support the team. It was surprising. Then on timeout, these words. So I really have a doubt about Andorra. And Gran Canaria is like, maybe he can reach the playoffs. The roster is so short. There are some injuries too. They began so well this season, but then I think he won 1 of 7 games during January and February. I have a doubt. I really have a doubt about these two teams. Yeah, I think the most stronger are Valencia and Juventud for sure.
Okay. So to finish, the last question that I wanted to ask you is, considering that, of course, EuroLeague is a very Spanish organization and is based in Spain. I wanted to ask you what's your opinion about the future of the competition, considering that Jordi Bertomeu is gonna leave his role as the CEO of the competition at the end of the season, and that was a decision made by the clubs, even if it was a very close decision. So I wanted to ask you, who do you think is gonna replace him? If you have any particular name or ideas, and what do you think in general it's going to happen for EuroLeague next season?
It's a good question. I have a good relationship with Jordi. I met him for maybe 20 years or more, and I think it's quite difficult to find a right name or a right person to do it. It's not so easy. Because of course EuroLeague is a solid competition right now, but I think basketball needs probably another way to take decisions. I mean, I don't think that clubs one by one can decide it. I mean, you need a strong head to take some decisions, because I know there are 11 owners and 7 clubs for the other way, but let's see, interests of each team are different. This is right. And one wants one thing and the other one wants another thing. So probably EuroLeague needs a strong head, okay, just to make it together. And it's not going to be an easy summer. Because of what is happening with Russian clubs, what is going to happen with Cheska, that is the owner. Let's see what happens. Let's see. It's not easy. It's not an easy summer. So probably EuroLeague needs a CEO, a strong one, before summer arrives, for sure. Because, you know, the EuroLeague board is in the first 2 weeks of July. So if the situation in Russia and Ukraine didn't change a lot, and anyway, if the war is finished, I think I was reading Batutin yesterday. So what is going to happen? So they are going to play at Belgrade or Athens or Turkey, its games. So probably fans of Europe are not receiving them so well. So EuroLeague needs to political zeal more than ever, I think. And of course, something that basketball needs is unity. I know the relations between FIBA and EuroLeague are so bad since so many years ago, but think about players. So players are exhausted. A lot of injuries. The NBA is bringing all the talent from Europe. And it's okay. Something that Jordi Bartomeu told me once. Okay, you're always talking about when European players goes to the NBA. Okay, and when they come back, it's just new. It's new. So it's not going to be an easy year, I think, and it's going to be a quite difficult summer for EuroLeague because, okay, one of your owners are CSKA Moscow, and one of the best clubs you have inside, Zenit and Unix. Think about the playoffs with these Russian teams. It will be quite different. So who is going to say Batutin, okay, you're out, definitely out? Yeah, but maybe the EuroLeague has to do it because, okay, we know EuroLeague is a global competition. We have Israeli teams and so on. Yeah, but what about European Community says about?
Yeah.
If we are making measures to put Russia out from all things, basketball is not a world apart. So probably you have to be in the same way. So it's not a good decision for EuroLeague new zeal, but I think it's necessary to have a strong zeal. We cannot manage all the decisions club by club because so we are 11 and 7 more and everyone needs, okay, and what about mine, and what about mine? So maybe it's necessary. Of course.
As Pilar said, it's going to be definitely an interesting summer. So for this episode of Full Court Podcast, we reached the end. So before we finish, of course, I want to say thank you, Pilar, for jumping on the podcast and giving your insight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Grazie mille per tutti.
Thank you, Pilar. And before...
Ci vediamo a Belgrado.
Hopefully, ci vediamo a Belgrado,
I hope.
I hope. So before we finish, I just want to remind you, everyone, that, of course, the full format of Full Court Podcast is going to be available on our website, BasketNews.com, and on our YouTube channel. But you can also find the audio version of the podcast on Spotify and all the other major streaming platforms. So with all of you, we're going to see you very, very soon. Goodbye.